Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of Bootstrap tutorial series Forms Overview. And here we'll discuss about some guidelines for form control styles, layout options, and custom components for creating a wide variety of forms. And if you have been following along, we have this project folder, and inside this project folder we have got various folders and files. And the file from our second episode, I'm gonna click this file and let's make a copy and let's rename it as sample, and let's have some changes here. Let's go all the way down and I'm gonna select everything from here just to make a sample document. So what we'll be doing, we'll be just copying this sample and make changes as per our upcoming episodes. So let's remove everything inside here and everything looks perfect. Let's save this and turn on our live server and see what we have in here, and that'll take the default port. Alright, so this is what we have in our sample. Let's go back to our, I'm gonna remove this paragraph as well, and let's close this notification. Alright, and I'm also gonna make this sample. Let's save and see. Alright, that looks cool now. And let's go back to VS Code, and I'm gonna make a duplicate and let's rename it as form overview. That's great. And I'm gonna close these files and let's turn off our live server and restart our live server. Alright, so that's what we have right now, and I am also gonna rename the title as form, let's capitalize, form overview, VIEW, hit save. Alright, that's cool. Now I'm gonna keep these two windows side by side for better illustrations. Alright, that almost looks good. So now let's talk about forms, and I'm gonna create a very basic HTML form and then we'll add the power of Bootstrap form styles. So for that I'm gonna add in here a very basic HTML form, and before that I'm gonna add in here some heading. Say form space dash over view. It's safe. Alright, so I don't think we need any background color for our container, and let's open our sample and let's remove this color from this container here as well. Let's say let's close this. It's safe. Alright, and I'm also gonna remove this HR tag. That looks cool. And now let's add form here, and I'll be using EMMET abbreviation. If you need to learn more about EMMET, you can watch my EMMET based series and find the link in the description below. And inside that form, let's have various labels, and let's have some null class, and we'll replace it with the classes that we'll need to add Bootstrap styles to the form. And within here let's have some placeholder text, and also at the same level I'm gonna have some input with null class, and let's enclose it within parentheses, and let's have 4 copies. And I am also going to add a button at the same level, button with null class, and let's have an attribute type should be submit, and the content will be submit. All right, so that's what we have, and here you can see the live update that this EMMET expression will render us. So that looks almost fine, so I'm gonna keep this line for you, and let's make this work for us. All right, so we have let's make this wrap. All right, so hit save. Here we have very pretty and decent form provided by HTML. Now let's add some text to our form. Let's make this email address, and then we'll have password, and then let's have select a file, and we'll also need to change the type of this input, say file. All right, and let's make this one as check me out, and I am also going to change the position of this element. Let's take this after input, and let's make this input checkbox, and hit save. So that's what we have right now. We have various inputs here, say email address, password, select a file, choose a file, and check me out, and then we have got a button. So that's what we have right now. Now let's see the power of Bootstrap styles. I'm gonna copy this guy. All right, and let's add a heading here, and let's call this Bootstrap styled form. Hit save. All right, and here we need to consider some important things. To make Bootstrap styled label, you need to have form dash label class. All right, and for input you will need form dash control class for each of the input, not each of the input, all the textual and text area based inputs. And let's make some changes for our password as well. Let's make this label form dash label, and the input would be form dash control, and then we have file. Let's make this form dash label, and the input will also be, I'm not gonna add a file for now. Let's keep this simple. Cut that, hit save. And for the password, I'm also gonna make this form dash control, hit save. Sorry, let's make this type text, form control, and this is the email address. Sorry, I mistakenly made changes to the type. That should be, let's cut that from here and make this text and paste that in here, hit save. Now our form starts to take very nice shape, Bootstrap styled form. And now let's address our checkbox and see what Bootstrap provides us for checkbox. Let's make this in form check control, form check hyphen control, and for label we'll have form check label. And you also need to remember one thing, that always put your checkbox group within a form check div. Let me add a div here, and I'm gonna wrap this group with form check. Hit enter. It's safe, and we have that's the checkbox now. And let's add in here bt, and that's the base class for Bootstrap styled buttons. And then we have variations. Say if you want to have button hyphen, you can have say info, danger, success, or whatever you like. Hit save, and let's make this primary. Primary. Hit save. So that's the Bootstrap styled form we have right now, and it's recommended that if you want to add a little margin after every form control group, so what you can do here is, let's come in here and select these two elements that makes the group of the control, and let's wrap this group within margin bottom. Let's add 3. It's safe. And now if you notice that this class adds some margin after email address group, and let's do the same for password as well. Alright, let's select both the elements and let's wrap it within MB-3. It's safe, and let's add MB-3 here as well. Alright, so that also adds some margin here. Alright, so this is what we have right now, and here we have little indentation, and let's see what did I do here. So that's an input for a checkbox, and that's a control, this, and this is something that should be replaced with input. It's safe, and that fix this issue. Okay, so that is the power of Bootstrap. Alright, so now if you want to create block level or inline form text, you can use form text class. Say if you want to add some text after this email address group, so let's come back in here and email input, and after that let's add here a div having form dash text, and we'll also have some content here. Say we will never share your email with anyone. Alright, and hit enter. That gives you, and let's hit save, and that adds a very nice and decent text after your email control group. So that was about basic form, and now let's talk about the customization. Alright, and for that what I'm gonna do is, let's maximize our window, and I'm gonna open here Bootstrap and go to forms overview, and here we have got ton of SASS variables you can modify your Bootstrap with. Say if you wanna, let me increase the size or zoom in a bit. Alright, so if you wanna increase the padding size of your inputs, say here we have got padding on either sides, horizontal axis and vertical axis. So if you want to increase this padding, right now this is 0.375 RAM, and if you want this to be 1 or 2 RAM, let me give an example. Let's open our main.scss, and always remember to put your customizations before this @import rule. And let's come in here and copy this line of code and let's paste it in here. And right now this is 0.375 RAM. Okay, and let's make this 1 RAM, and let's turn on our SASS extension and let it do the job for us. Hit save, and it's working on it, and the file is going to be generated. It's generated. And now let's get back to our document, and right now if you notice that it increased the padding on y-axis. And there are a ton of variables that you can use to modify Bootstrap. And that was all about Forms overview. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching and see you next time.